Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool drew 1-1 away at Fulham tonight in the Carabao Cup second leg semi-final, meaning of course that Liverpool progress to the final of the Carabao Cup, 25th of February. It's a Sunday. Chelsea await us again in another final, having done the double over them in the Cups a couple of years ago, having done them in the Super Cup. A 0-0 draw and a penalty shootout feels almost inevitable, but we are here to talk about the game against Fulham, of course, tonight. And for the most part, for me, and I will get into any comments and super chats and tweets and all that in a little bit, but for sort of my match reaction, as it were, I think first and foremost, Liverpool for 75 minutes were brilliant, dominant, superb. The team that Jurgen put out looked like it was good enough. Jarell Quansah, right centre-back, alongside Conor Bradley at right back. It's a youthful right-hand side. You pick Cody Gakpo on the right-hand side, and you're looking at it thinking, oh, you know, where are they going to be? Well, Quansah, magnificent. Conor Bradley, brilliant. Again, you know, obviously the goal comes down his side, but it's good forward play as well, good wing play. I thought Liverpool were brilliant in terms of getting that early goal, in terms of quieting the crowd down. Obviously, the Fulham fans were looking forward to a semi-final just as much as we were, if not more, because it's not something that they get to do very regularly, unlike us, you know. But imagine being us, as the banner in the away end said at the end. Ultimately, it comes down to a few things. Our quality and our tactics were spot on during this game. Luis Diaz was absolutely superb, chesting that ball down from Jarell Quansah, driving into the penalty area. A little bit of luck, but then a little bit of luck is what they got in their goal. And then it is nervy. We go 5 at the back, 4 midfield, 1 up front towards the end. But again, for the most part, we were absolutely brilliant. I am gutted that we didn't get to see Robbo in the game. Had it stayed 1-0, had they not scored, I think we might have seen a little bit of Andy Robertson. But each and every one of those players, like again, McAllister in that DM position, showing his worth by when he was substituted. We got worse when Alexis McAllister was off the pitch, and that's because we don't have an out-and-out DM in the squad, with Endo obviously being in the Asian Cup and stuff. But he was brilliant. Again, McAllister, not just the defensive side of things, but the way he would control the game, you know, slow it down, speed it up when necessary, spread it wide, knock it back to the defenders if there was nothing on in front of him. But again, Conor Bradley, for me, he's the one who just continues with Jarell Quansah to show exactly what these young kids are made of. And Clark was good when he come on as well towards the end of the game. Joe Gomez, brilliant. Again, Van Dijk, you know what Van Dijk's going to bring. I thought Gravenberch had a really good game as well. Thought that, you know, we always talk about that ability to turn and go forwards and everything else. Nunes looked exciting. You know, he had that one where he sort of bent it around the Henry-esque finish, which I think was a good save from Leno as well. But Luis Diaz was the man of the match, and I think for me he was probably the best player on the pitch as well. There was this period, wasn't there, in the sort of second half where he kind of went into centre forward position and Nunes went over to that left hand side, and he was just linking absolutely everything up, knitting it together a la Roberto Firmino at times. I'm going to get into your comments and stuff now, of course, but before I do, my mate Simon from Threads for Reds, I don't know whether you can see this, Threads for Red just sent me this one. It is going to the cup final tee, basically. I'm going to show you on my laptop right now. It's threadsforreds.com, and it's the One Kiss Possibilities tee. There's a cheeky kiss in the background. It might have a double meaning that he mentioned to me. I'm not going to mention what that double meaning might be, but there is a possibility of a certain Roman numeral happening in Wembley in February. So yeah, Simon, thank you so much for the t-shirt. I absolutely love it. Of course, Simon does all of our designs and stuff as well. Funnily enough, he's not got our one out yet. More on that tomorrow, of course, but this Threads for Reds design is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, threadsforreds.com. Into the comments section I go anyway. Diane Butler, tough ride in the end, but I'm so happy we're through to the final. Yet again, everyone worked hard and did their part. So proud of them. On to Wembley for the finals. 8 days after my 40th birthday. I mean, there's birthday presents going around left, right and centre here, isn't it? Obviously, Pep Lijnders' birthday, I think, today. What a birthday present that was for them. And obviously, if Liverpool are able to put another trophy in the cabinet, then that would make it 51 major honours for the most successful football club in England. Hopefully, and if not, happy birthday for the big 4-0. in February. Veronica, a nervy last 10 minutes. But Wembley, here we come. A great birthday present for Pep. You're absolutely right. Decorators Forum UK, getting a little bit of cheeky advertising in there, and I don't blame you, it's smart. We would have won that by 2 or 3 goals if it was a league game. We were easily the better side. And there was a little bit to do with that, wasn't there? Where, and I think it's a consequence of having a lot of games and, having a reduced squad because of the injuries and the international tournaments and stuff, where everyone's sort of going through it. And I do feel like we'd have put our foot down a little bit more, but that 2-goal lead felt comfortable. It didn't feel comfortable, of course, when that was reduced to a 1-goal lead and then the pressure was coming on. But again, we did exactly what we needed to do to progress. And thankfully, no injuries again. So that's another big one, because there was a point when Alexis McAllister was down in the first half and you think to yourself, bloody hell, what are we going to do without a DM? And the answer probably isn't Kurt Jones, because again, not because Kurt Jones played badly, but because we got a little bit worse when Alexis McAllister came off. Adam Harrison, positive, absolutely delighted with another final. This Klopp era is magic. It really, really is, isn't it? I mean, I was so lucky to have the gaffer at our football club, but I know that he's lucky as well, because he's got us. He's got the best fan base in world football behind him and cheering him on down there. The fans, seeing the players in front of the fans again, clapping, and, the fans going absolutely wild. Gutted I wasn't there. Hopefully I'll be there for the big one in Wembley. I'm sure it will be. I can't wait for this. I really can't. And I'll be honest with you, there's a part of me that wanted Middlesbrough in that final. Because I've enjoyed winning against Birmingham and your Cardiffs and your Boltons and stuff. But also, I kind of like to show Chelsea a little bit, like, we're the boss, you know what I mean? Like, beating them 4 finals in a bounce would be just glorious, wouldn't it? But, we'll see in a month or so's time. On the game, thought our final pass was similar to the Man United game. When we passed, should have shot, and vice versa. But we're in the final. Happy fucking days. There was a little bit of an overplaying it thing towards the end. I think Diaz maybe in the second half could have been guilty of that. We should have taken our chances a little bit better. We should have put that game to bed. We didn't. We progress. That's what matters. I'm going to get over to Twitter anyway. Some good comments over here. Jarell Quansah. Let me see if I can get this one up on the screen. What a player. The perfect understudy for Virgil. You're absolutely right. But he's not only the perfect understudy for Virgil right now, he's the perfect understudy for Canate right now as well. And again, question mark, can he play that right-hand side? We've only really seen Jarell Quansah on the left. Do you really want to play Jarell Quansah when Conor Bradley's over there? It's an inexperience, yada, 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 yada. Shut up. They did magnificently. Both were absolutely superb tonight. Love that one, Simon. Daniel, mad how we've done this with so little depth. Guys clearly burnt out by the end. We did enough though. Agreed. Tim Wright, decent result, but should have won. Very wasteful on the ball in the final third, absolutely. But we're through to a final, so chin up, my friends. Harper, not a classic performance, but do need to remember the circumstances with the opposition and playing mostly a second string team and the result. Liverpool have got to another final, man, under Jurgen Klopp. Again, talk about it. It's a serious football team. It's a serious squad of players. It's a serious manager. And they're seriously looking for trophies this season, each and every one of them. A new group, Liverpool 2.0, if you will. And we want to gain and win trophies as this group of players. We don't want to talk about the past over and over. Could this be the springboard? We don't know, but it's never going to hurt your chances getting to another final, getting to play in front of Wembley, getting the new lads, the Gravenberches, the Soberslys, the McAllisters, used to playing for us in finals, in these big occasions, because, this might be an experience for us. We might win, we might lose, of course, but if it's a little bit more experience, it could even help us if we lose in some ways, because it's burning desire, but you'd rather win it, get them, truly hooked on what that winning feeling at Liverpool Football Club is like, because there's no better place to win. You're going to be appreciated more than anywhere else in this country if you win a trophy for Liverpool Football Club, because that's who we are as fans. Cameron Wilkinson, our academy's been unreal under Klopp. Ridiculous how many players are coming through, contributing year on year, and it's not just contributing on the pitches. Unfortunately, it's a game that is massively influenced influenced by the money. And so for all the players that haven't made it, a lot of them have made us good money. But this is the most exciting part of having an academy. When you see players like Clark coming into the sides, we might see Gordon at the weekend, we might see McConnell at the weekend, we'll see Owen Beck, I'm sure, at the weekend. But when you see your Jarell Quansahs, your Kurt Joneses coming through, your Harvey Elliott's coming through slightly different circumstances, of course. This feels like Jurgen's got his arms around this entire football club, and everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet. Everybody knows what the ultimate end goal is, and the biggest credit that I can give to the lads each and every week I've seen them this season, they understand what it means to be a Liverpool player. They understand what position they're playing. They understand what the players around them are going to be doing, and that is a credit to the academy. They're not just building footballers, they're building footballers for Liverpool Football Club who can slot in and who Jurgen's got confidence in. The balls of Jurgen Klopp tonight to put those players on late in the game, like Clark and stuff like that, brilliant. That's what you want to see, because he trusts his players, and when you trust your players, you get more from them, and that's what Jurgen is about as a man manager. There's nobody better fit for Liverpool. There's nobody better as a manager in world football that can do what Jurgen Klopp can do with the resources that he's has, and right now he's proven that he can oversee young players coming through into this side as well, which is just great to see, because I'll not even mention Batetic and stuff like that. We've got a brilliant crop of young players, and they're starting to be difference makers as well. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Pardon, don't expect every game to be 1-2 or 3-0, but we should do it when we can. Fulham with Porto, we had chances, half chances to kill this off well early. We should smell blood and punish opponents. Bradley exceptional again, maybe a little at fault, but normal to not be so ready. Listen, you are right. I'm not saying that you're not, but ultimately we got through, and that's what matters. But yeah, for my own sake, we needed to do better. For your sake, for everyone watching at home, we didn't need the last 15 minutes, Liverpool. But you like to make us feel alive, don't you? Which is always nice as well. Every player to a man tonight was absolutely brilliant until we took Makarov and lost control. Obviously, that also affected by Fulham pushing forwards, gaining confidence and belief from the goal. I think that is absolutely perfect. I can't agree more with that. And Glyn just says, Anfield southbound. Yes, lovely. And Colin Allen says, we're lucky that wasn't a league game. Well, in some ways, I think the players knew it wasn't a league game, but you're right, we should have won by more goals than just drawing. What I would like to do now is get into some of the Discords and stuff, because I've neglected them and I'm so sorry. So I'm going to get into the Discord now. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, there's loads of comments coming in from the Discord. Wow, there's tons and tons and tons. Okay, Howie Los Angeles 5, if you can bring these ones on the screen for me, that would be great. I need to get rid of that other one, so I shall do that now. And how do I do that? Clear overlay. Right, Discord. Right, Gomez was massive again, so underrated. Howie Los Angeles, I completely agree with that again, mate, again. Santa Rasta Master, you can guess the rest. Controlled the game, professional performance, still on the hunt for the A-quad. For A-quad, can't be happy. I've got to say it's A-quad, not the quad. But we did. It was a professional performance until the end, of course. Ori Devore, phew, thank God we got the job done tonight. Through to the final now. Come on, you Reds. Mostly comfortable game. Did enough, says Lady. Thank you very much. Quad bod, did what we needed to do, Chris. No injuries, no major drama. The young players were rock solid again. The future's bright red, that is. And Plan controlled the game throughout. The last 10-15 could have been better, but experiences like that will help the younger lads too. And Cop HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, says, yes, we're on our way to Wembley. Get in. Frank, could you open up the YouTube comments to everybody, please, mate, while I read some of these? If you're watching live on YouTube, then please get your comments in now. Mo Call says, just wish we'd gotten to see Robbo onwards and upwards. Tom Little, not very pretty, but job done is the most important thing. Quans with another great performance for me, a guaranteed starter for that final, injury permitting. Hopefully the first of 3 visits to Anfield South this year. I'm assuming you're hoping for a Community Shield. Is that right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we could get there by winning the FA Cup and the league, that would be great. I want to pull on this one, though, Tom, a little bit. Kwanzaa's a guaranteed starter for you in the final. That is so interesting because it's not something that I'd ever consider, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not going to think about how I feel about it, but I'm going to ruminate on some of it. And I suppose that is, like, if you can give a goalkeeper a competition that's slightly different, because you really don't get, unless there's an injury, into this side, and Kelleher's been doing it for a little while now. It's probably one of the reasons we were able to keep him for this season rather than sell him on, was to placate him and give him that sort of run in the competition. Kwanzaa, though, I'm not sure. I like it, I think. Do I? I don't know. I think I like it. Do you give him a start in a final? And a trophy's on the line? I mean, Klopp might. It might be something he does. It's not something I'd do. I'd throw Canate and Van Dijk straight in there, my friend. I would, especially because it is Chelsea. I'd said never look like losing. In fact, we don't look like we're losing to anyone right now. Completely agree. Carl Mack 19 got the job done. Nothing more, nothing less. Didn't have to overexert ourselves. Another cup game at the weekend, and the Reds march on. Milesy says Joe Gomez had the biggest career turnaround this season. When talks about him leaving last season was a huge possibility, he won't be going anywhere. He's too big and he's too important to this squad right now, isn't he, Milesy? Joe Gomez has just been scintillating. Right back, left back. I'm sure we're going to see him at centre back as well. Centre mid, we've seen him at. He can do it all. This is Joe Gomez. This is Liverpool Football Club. This guy has just stepped it up. I think I was doubting him. I think a lot of Liverpool fans were doubting him, but he's got better and better and better, and he seems to, touch wood, has put the injury problems behind him right now, and hopefully that continues, because this is a lad that's been with us. He's our longest serving player at the moment, isn't he? He's been with us a long time. I love a little bit of Joe Gomez. What he did for us in that league winning season was sensational. He was an absolute rock alongside Virgil van Dijk. The injuries were so tough to come back from, the two massive injuries, but it feels like he's back. And yes, he's getting opportunities at fullback. I think he'd rather play centre back. I'm assuming he would. I don't know that, of course, but yeah, maybe he would. So yeah, let's go, baby. We've got the YouTube comments up now, and there are absolutely tons flying in. Let's have a look then. What have we got here? Spirit just says second half was touch and go. Chrissy says, now that my pulse has stabilised, I can tell you it was a proper cup game, that. Yeah, I agree with that. Rennie Ralawa, great game. The only thing that makes me sad at the moment being a Liverpool supporter is missing to see Thiago and Bajcetic. It's always the things that you haven't got, isn't it? But what we have got is we've got to see Kwanzaa, we've got to see Bradley, we've got to see McAllister, we've got to see more of Szoboszlai. You know, it's ups and downs, isn't it? Grix is now all eyes on the final. I wish Harvey got a goal to shut those home fans up. Yeah, that would have been glorious. I also wish Gakpo got a goal. In fact, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? Just to roll out of there with a 3-1 and put them to bed would have been brilliant. Owen Hunter, Cup treble is on. Does the... I don't know. Something of our treble disgusts you, West London? I don't know. I don't think Gakpo's been played on the left enough, which is where he was for PSV, says Moo Walker. Interesting. I thought Gakpo did really well on the right tonight. I was surprised a little bit to see him there, but again, I did say in the build-up show that, you know, it wasn't surprising for me to see Diaz in his natural position and Núñez centre forwards, because Klopp did talk about that 1A sort of position the other night. So yeah, okay. Kevin Johnson, already completely professional point of view. Not thinking about the past. Norwich on Sunday. Let's focus, Reds. Yeah, absolutely. Naldo just says, get in indeed. Liverpool are in to another final. Wow, what a time to be a Red this has been, man. Honestly, Jurgen Klopp has turned this football club around something chronic. Not only did he end the wait for the Premier League, he won his European Cup, a Club World Cup, my word, a Cup double. I mean, what more can you want? We could win a quad this season. We're sitting pretty at the top of the league. We've knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup in the third round. We're into the fourth round of that. We're going into the Carabao Cup final. Who can stop us in the Europa League. I don't think anyone. The final's in Dublin. It's almost looking like this might be the best year of my life. This might be the best year of my life, and it should be the best year of your life, because this Liverpool side deserve that. What they're putting out there each week, each time they take to the field, every one of them, from the young lads coming through to the experienced lads, the captain, Virgil van Dijk, each one of them are giving their absolute everything. We need to give our absolute everything for them in return, and I'm sure we will. And we'll be there at the final. We'll be, excuse me, so excited. So excited about what this team can be so far this season. They've been fantastic. I think they're going to get better. And I think if they can play like the first 75 minutes in games this season, we'll put teams away. We'll put teams away 3-4 goals. And I just feel like that pressure's coming back as well. That was superb. Fulham couldn't get out. Harvey Elliott leading it really well today. Gakpo on the right. Everything. Klopp just seems to have the Midas touch at the moment, doesn't he? Everything he's doing seems to be working. And that is the sign of a man who's confident in his squad, in the players, and in what his team can achieve so far this season. And Jack sort of sums that up pretty well, to be honest. This is the most stable I've ever felt as a Liverpool fan. I'm a relatively stable Liverpool fan, and this is the most stable I've ever felt as well. Although I am still a bit scared about Manchester City, if I'm being totally frank. But why wouldn't you be? They're a good side as well. Richard Little says, I thought McAllister was brilliant. He's looking like Thiago to me. Controls the game brilliantly. We lost momentum when he came off. You're absolutely right. We really did. We did lose momentum when he came off. Let's have a look in the Discord as well. Simon says, we're not just building Klopp's Liverpool 2.0 here, but with the young lads like Bradley, Kwanzaa, Clark, Beck and the others, we're building 3.0 at the same time. He's managed to work out, Simon, hasn't he, how to do Rafa's, or was it Rafa was the short blanket? Who was the plane while it's in the air? It sounds like a Rafaism as well, but I never remember whose that was. He was trying to build the plane while it's still in the air. Well, that's what he's doing right now. He's building 2.0, but he's got 3.0 on the runway, and that's ready to take off soon. You can feel it, can't you, mate? The youngsters in the squad are absolutely brilliant. Scottish Red just says, I love the League Cup, by the way. There was funny, like, there's a lot of people talking before this about, like, the League Cup being, maybe better than the FA Cup nowadays. And maybe it is because I don't know why. I don't know whether I agree with it. I'm a bit older than a lot of people who watch our programmes and stuff. But the FA Cup's something special to me. But the League Cup, because it finishes early and you can get to the final, it feels like a little bit quicker. It seems to be a little bit more important nowadays. And here's what it comes down to, is there's just not that many trophies to win. And when Manchester City start hoovering 2 or 3 up every single year, I mean, they went 4 or 5 on the run in this competition, each trophy becomes more important. And harder to win because Manchester City exist and because they cheat and because they've got one of the best managers in the world and some of the best footballers in the world because of their cheating. It just becomes harder. So every trophy matters. And look, I'd rather us be in the Champions League. Of course, I'd rather us be in the Champions League with the pedigree that we've got. It would have meant that we didn't have as bad a season as last year as well, which would have been lovely because having to live through that wasn't very nice, to be honest with you, Liverpool Football Club. But we're here and we're enjoying what we've got at the moment. I've completely lost my trail of thought because I'm angry about last season again. I shouldn't be angry about last season because last season's last season, and this season the Reds are fucking mustard, a serious football team, like I keep saying. Scottish Red, great sub today with Canati coming on and Bobby Clark too. And Josh Hall says, shout out to Harvey Elliott. He ran himself into the ground today. He really did. Get back into there. John Jones says, Bradley was as good as I thought it could be. Got good vibes this season. Keep it rolling, says Shawnee M. And Gomez will go back to right back, says Darren Mulholland. Moo Walker says, seen lots of youngsters play in these cup games over the years and disappear, but some of them youngsters really look the level. And I think that's probably the best way to end the show tonight. Of course, we've got more shows. I'll be doing the player ranking show very, very shortly over there. Don't forget, you can help out my mate Simon, who runs threads for Reds.com, and buy this wonderful One Kiss t-shirt. A little cheeky nod to the La Decima, which is upcoming, hopefully, against Chelsea on the 25th of February after Liverpool beat Fulham over 2 legs in the Carabao Cup Semi-Final. Get over onto the player rankings video very shortly. Use the code KLOP as you sign up for a captain subscription on redmenplus.com. Get all the build-up to that Carabao Cup Final, all the reaction to the semi-final, 2 shows being recorded tonight in the other room, final word to record tomorrow, and a big game in the FA Cup on Sunday. That's right.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, legend tier status.